were never alone. You always have someone on your mind. You always have someone. You always have someone on your mind. You always have someone. You always have someone on your mind. You always have someone.
Wir interessieren uns für Tanz. Sollten ruhig noch andere Dinge im Kopf haben als nur Tanzen. Geräuschplatten, Tanz.
electricity in the air. Electricity. We love this music. You can get it! Woo!
Guess what? They're finally here, the X series. I'm Chuck Green, and this is American DJ Under the Hood. Today we're going to talk about the X series. We have the X Move LED, the X Color LED, and the X Scan LED. None of these fixtures use lamps. They actually use a little 20-watt LED chip. So first thing we're going to do, actually we're going to take a closer look at the X Move since they all share a lot of the same parts. But you know, it's always more fun to take apart the moving head. So let me get these out of the way. The big deal about the X series is this is the first line of lights we've had that projects a hard edge LED image. We have tons of LED wash lights between the American DJ and Elation line of fixtures, but this is the first one that can actually shoot a gobo or just a nice hard spot. Isn't this guy cute? I just want a baby talk. Whoa, it's a little moving head, that's right. The X Move and the X Scan have 8 colors plus white and 8 gobos plus spot. Obviously, this is the moving head, so you got the pan and the tilt, and it also has gobo shake. It also has dimming from 0 to 100%, which is kind of cool on a little moving head like this. This is a great fixture for low ceilings. It has a 14-degree beam angle. It's just a really good all-around, tiny, lightweight, compact, but heavy-duty fixture. So here on the front, you got your little menu there. It's where you set your DMX addresses, you set your sound active mode, you know, you set your master slave or whatever mode you want to put it in. It's got a little fan right there to keep the PC and the bass cool. Right here, you've got your switch between 115 and 230 volt in case you're going overseas. You got your DMX in and out. You've got your sensitivity for your audio control and a little microphone. It's got an IEC plug, so when you go to Europe or wherever you're going on the road with it, you can get the correct cable and plug it right in, flip the switch, and you're ready to go. It also includes a hanging bracket, so you could, you know, that's right, hang the unit on a truss or a stand. You'll notice that it includes 4 rubber mounting feet at the bottom of the unit. The rubber feet provide stability, balance, and keeps the unit from scratching any flat surface. Pop the top off here. So here at American DJ, we know a thing or two about moving head fixtures. So we took just about everything we knew and tried to make it as compact as possible. Right here we got the little PC board that controls the pan and tilt of the fixture. If you look real close in there, under the pan and tilt board, you can see the color and gobo wheel. Back here you've got your concave, convex optical lens system. And then at the very back, you got your little 20-watt cluster LED chip. At the very front, obviously we got our lens, and it's a manual focus, so you can kind of dial it in so you get a nice sharp beam. So I know some of you are saying, Chuck, that's pretty lazy, you just took the top off. This is under the hood. We're gonna tear this thing apart now. Brian, the hammer, please. Okay, so now that I've gotten it all taken apart here, I kind of got some of the more important pieces on deck here. There's a lot of, well, high temp wire here. Even though it's LED, we figured we give you the high temp wire just in case you're using it in a hot climate. So there's that. This right here is the heart and soul of the entire X series. This is the 20-watt LED cluster. It's actually a little itty bitty board with a bunch of diodes in it. This little thing creates all that light. It's pretty incredible. So the diode, it's got a little triac switch on it there. Also, what's worth mentioning is with the LEDs versus even a halogen, you get a much whiter white. So it kind of looks like a discharge lamp, like an MSD250, not quite the output, but you get that really nice white. Again, like I've mentioned in the past, we really pride ourselves on using quality components and parts. I mean, you can see all our gears are nicely machined. You know, we've got really high quality bearings that can stand up to a lot of heat and a lot of use on the road. Very high quality motors, stepper motors. Got your transformer, let's see. All right, here, your little DMX display. But what I really need to show you is here's the color wheel. This is the same color wheel that's in all the X series, including the X Color and the X Scan and of course the X Move. Some people asked, how come you guys didn't do RGB color mixing, since we've done a lot of LED RGB color mixing fixtures with our washes and stuff. Well, the main reason we didn't use it on the hard edge fixture is because we find we get way more output by using a white diode instead of messing around with having, you know, 8 red and 8 green and 8 blue. And then when you want your white, you still kind of get that off white. So we just went ahead and threw a color wheel in there because our output is so good with this diode system. Here's the gobo wheel. So actually these gobos are a little bit bigger than I expected they'd be on such a tiny fixture, so you get some really nice projections. And there's 8 gobos plus a little spot there. Here's the heat sink that goes on the back, because actually, believe it or not, I know LEDs don't create as much heat, but they create some heat, and actually LEDs emit the heat off the back. So we got this on there. We also have a little fan somewhere. We have a little fan that goes right over the diode and kind of keeps the air moving, keeps things cool. In the base of the fixture, this part here, it's the main PC board. You got your in and outs. And then, you know, again, we use some really, we always try to use the high quality belts, so, you know, they don't snap on you during a gig. Let's see if I can get, oh man, all right. There's another one coming right at you, Cindy. There we go. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna have fun picking up all these pieces and throwing it back together in a moving head. Again, this is the X Move LED. Just kind of wanted to give you a closer look to the inside. And I guess I better put it back together. So real quick, we wanted to just touch on the other family members of the X series. We've got the X Scan and the X Color. And again, they're both using that same 20-watt chip that I showed you earlier with the X Move. One feature that these two fixtures have that the X Move doesn't, remember I showed you on the X Move the switch for the voltage. These have auto sensing voltage. So when, for you know, our DJs in Europe or South America or wherever you are in the world, you plug this in and it's going to be ready to go. The X Color is a hard edge LED fixture, but it doesn't have a gobo wheel. And your main application for this is either like if you need a hard edge spot on a small stage, or a lot of people like to use these on mirror balls. And I mean, think how great it is now that if you're doing a permanent install, you're not gonna have to get up there and change the lamps on your mirror ball fixtures. The X-Scan LED features a 4-button menu. You can use it to set up DMX mode, master slave mode, or sound active mode. It also has an IEC input for convenient cable compatibility. It has DMX in and out, and a power supply. It also features an audio sensitivity knob for sound activation. When you pull the X-Scan LED out of the box, you'll notice a protectant foam around the lens. The foam helps protect the lens from any damage in shipping. Let's head to the showroom and see these things in action. Brian, can we set this up next to a DJ scan so we can kind of see the difference? That might be kind of cool. You guys want to see that? I think so. Thanks for checking us out again. X Series, go to your local DJ shop and check them out firsthand. Please keep those emails coming in. We really appreciate it. Any comments you have, again, really appreciate it. I'm Chuck Green. This is Under the Hood. Hi, it's me, Chuck Green, for a special edition of American DJ Under the Hood. Today they're doing a photo shoot in there with DJ Lisa KASBERG. Let's go check her out.
Hi, my name's Lisa KASBERG with I'm a Girl DJ Entertainment. I've been a DJ for 20 years and I've owned my own business for 15 years. I'm a multi-system operator located out of Thousand Oaks, California. The majority of our work are weddings, bar and bat mitzvahs, kids events, and corporate events. And I am a proud member of the American Disc Jockey Association. I became a DJ because my brothers own a DJ company and they needed another DJ and they thought a female DJ would be a great idea. And I thought it was a fantastic idea and I said, you know what, I'm gonna do this. And at the time, I was probably the only female DJ working in Southern California and had some barriers, some blocks to punch through, but I made it and now a lot of people hire me just because I'm a female DJ. I came across a lot of folks who didn't want to hire me because I was a female, and it intimidated me. And then once I got over it, I totally turned it around, and I became very successful. I've been a member of the American Disc Jockey Association for probably 15 years, and the benefits, first and foremost, is the camaraderie that I have with all of the local DJs in Southern California. And it's so funny because it's so hard to find that in industries. And our group of DJs, we're all friends, we all support each other, and if ever anyone is ever in a bind, we can totally help each other out. We have great vendors like American DJ who come in and show their brand new equipment, like the SDJ1, which is fantastic, I totally love. And you just have this great sense of community. The great thing about it is it's really helped my business grow financially. If someone came up to me 20 years ago and said that I would be making a great living as a DJ, I would have said you're crazy. And it's amazing what a fabulous living I can make as a DJ. I started out as a DJ on vinyl, believe it or not, and made the crossover or transition to CD probably about 3 years into being a DJ. And then in the last 2 years, I've gone digital. And I stumbled across the SDJ at the NAMM convention almost a year ago. And when I saw this piece of equipment, I was in awe of it because there were so many things that I needed and it gave to me. And one of the first things that I noticed was that it was light. I didn't have to carry around a case that encased a CD player because basically the SDJ is just a panel, which is about maybe 5 pounds. So it was already a stress reliever for my back, which for me was really huge. And also the fact that I don't have to carry CDs around anymore, which was brilliant as far as I was concerned. So the first time I saw the SDJ1, the thing that amazed me so much about it was this fabulous little disc right here. This is like heaven to me because I can fit about 800 songs on this card. And if I get about 4 of them and put them in my little case here, which I totally dig, I can walk into a gig with just the discs in this case, and I have music for the whole night. I can typically put 2 discs into the SDJ and have enough music for the whole night. And it is so wonderful. So all you have to do is take this little card, and it's very easy to put the music on the card. It is so simple. And then once you have all your music on the card, you just pop it in. The player reads it. It has folders in it, so you can pick any folder. I have all my folders set up for dinner music, for cocktail music, for current dance, for swing, Motown, disco. So all I have to do is somebody comes up and says, I want to hear some disco right now, or I want to hear some Motown. Not a problem. In 1 second, I'm there, and I have my sets all set and ready to go. So my lighting package includes Vertigos and Avengers, but I have just been introduced to the Mega Panel LED, which is so cool because it will actually put a wash out on the dance floor onto my guests. And I'm so excited about using them. So I'm taking a step up and really looking forward to that. So an average evening of music is probably about 80 songs, obviously, depending on how many hours I'm at an event. But the great thing about the SDJ is that a lot of times my brides and grooms give me music that I will never play at another event. And I just don't want to clog up my library. So what I do is I make a file for each one of my clients, put their name on it, and put all their important songs on it. So it's accessible to me, so I am playing every single song that they want to hear, and it's right on this little disc. Most of my music I get from promo only, and obviously I've collected music over the last 20 years and just, compilations and best ofs, and then also I download music off of iTunes. What has made me successful for so long is 2 things. I believe to be a great, successful DJ, you need 2 elements, and one is you have to be great at your craft. You have to be a great DJ and a great MC, but you have to be a really great business person as well. You can't have one without the other and not be successful. So that is really the combination, the true secret to being a successful mobile DJ. My advice to up-and-coming DJs would be to be focused, set your goals, and never doubt. Always move forward. And just be excited and have passion for what you do.
This is Chuck Green, and you're watching American DJ Under the Hood. Today we're going to be checking out the Mystic LED. It's a modern spin on a classic American DJ effect. The Mystic LED has 224 diodes, which gives you a lot of output. It's pretty similar to a 250 watt halogen. It has 88 red, 88 blue, and 48 green diodes inside here. The Mystic LED has a wide pattern of light. It can cover, almost any normal sized dance floor, walls, ceilings, and it also gives you a really good aerial effect when you're using fog, but it's really good even without fog. Like the rest of the LED fixtures, this thing hardly takes any energy. It's 48 watts, which is less than a light bulb from one of the old ELECTRAs. It's ridiculous. The LEDs, like the rest of them, we rate them at about 100,000 hours, and we also give you that 3-year warranty like the rest of the American DJ LED products on the diodes. The Mystic LED has 3 operational modes. It has DMX, which is 4 channels. It has sound active, or you can use the UC3 controller from American DJ. So here's the back. We got a 4-character digital display. You have your indicator telling you if it's in DMX mode or audio mode. When it's in DMX mode, it's 4 channels. You get strobe, RGB color effects, your rainbow effects, and the rotation of the motor clockwise or counterclockwise. All in all, it's real self-explanatory. If you know anything about DMX or DJ lighting, you'll be right in your element with this fixture. So now we're taking a look at the bottom of the Mystic LED. As you can see, you've got your DMX input and output like every other DMX fixture. You have a 1/4-inch input for your UC3 control. You have an audio sensitivity knob to adjust the sensitivity of the audio, go figure. You have your fuse holder here, and then you have your power in and out for IEC connection to another Mystic LED. You can also see it's been passed by quality control. And it's actually funny to mention that because here at American DJ, we QC every single product we get from our factory. And up here you have the built-in microphone for sound activity right next to the sound sensitivity knob. And now for the fun part. Let's pop this thing open. All right, I'm gonna pop the lens system off here. Now you can see inside we have 2 clusters of 112 diodes for a total of, let's see, I'm not too good at math, but that's 224 diodes total. I'm gonna go ahead and plug it in. We can see what it looks like without the optical system. All right. Oh, it's a bit bright. It's pretty exciting, huh? You can see some strobe effects there. Let's see. Before, after. All right, well, I know most of you guys can do this at home, so I know you guys really want to just see me tear this thing completely apart, so. Now that my warranty is completely hosed on this product for you people out there on the internet, let's take a closer look at what we've got inside the Mystic LED. All right, so we'll start here with the main PC board. You got your EEPROMs, caps, resistors, and then attached to it, of course, is the internal power supply. If we come off in this direction, we've got the motor and brush system that connects to the bracket that holds your LEDs that rotate back and forth. I want to take this time to kind of explain. The reason I'm showing you this stuff is we're really proud to use really high quality components on the American DJ products. We know there's a lot of different DJ lighting products out there, but we think the part that really separates us is choosing quality components. The consistency of the LEDs. If you buy 2 of our products, they're gonna match up exactly. So this is kind of why I wanted to take a closer look, and I know a lot of you guys out there DJing that don't want to rip your fixtures completely apart, you know, so anyway, we wanted to take a closer look at this stuff for you. So having said that, the brush system's what transfers the data right here to the shaft that controls the LED when you're running it in DMX mode or sound active mode. It tells it when to change colors. If we come back here, you'll see here, no, this isn't a time bomb. This is the display. I've got the little face for it right here, you know, for your DMX addressing. And then you got all the other little goodies hanging off the main PC board, like your DMX in and out, your sensitivity potentiometer, your little itty bitty microphone for sound active, and the 1/4-inch input for your UC3 controller. All right. Now we got it all put back together. Well, we got an extra part. The Mystic LED gives you a massive dance floor coverage. Let's go ahead and check it out. Well, thanks for checking us out again on Under the Hood. So I've gotten a pretty good reaction to the videos we posted up, and so I guess we're just gonna keep doing it. We got a banner and everything now, so it's pretty official. So if there's anything you guys want to see me rip apart or do, or if you want me to take your sister out to dinner or anything along those lines, go ahead and drop me an email at underthehood@americandj.com. And thanks for checking us out again, Under the Hood. Hi, I'm Chuck Green, and this is ADJ Under the Hood. Today we're going to be checking out the LED Messenger. The LED Messenger is a unique patent-pending effect from American DJ. It's a dual-purpose fixture. You can project text on walls, ceilings, dance floors, or you can use it as a moonflower effect. You can also run it in DMX mode or sound active. First, we're going to take a look at some of the basic accessories it comes with right out of the box and the back panel. First, it comes with the wireless remote. This is how you can enter text, change DMX channels, black it out, strobe, speed up and slow down, so you don't want to lose this guy. And then here's the infrared sensor. You're probably wondering why it's on a cable and it's not just built right into the housing. It's in case it's up in the truss or you're at a different angle, this will really come in handy to kind of get you the right angle for your remote. This plugs in right here on the IR input on the back of the unit. So anyway, getting along to the back, start with the obvious feature, the on-off switch. You can look in the manual to learn how to use that. There's a power in and power out, so you can link some of the units together. You got your fuse right there. Hopefully you'll never have to open that up, but it's accessible if it needs to be. You have a safety loop, and for your safety cable. I hope you guys out there use safety cables in your truss. You don't want lights falling on people's heads now. You also have your DMX input and output. The LED Messenger uses 3 DMX channels. The first one is to go through the 17 built-in programs. The second one is to go through the sound and speed sensitivity, and the third one is to adjust the strobe rate when you're running a DMX. Here we have the PS2 keyboard input. This is where you plug in any standard PC PS2 keyboard for entering text. Up here we have the digital display. This is where you can set your DMX address, you can run through different programs and presets. You can also manually adjust the speed and strobe of the text showing up through the Messenger. The LED Messenger comes with 10 built-in phrases, happy birthday, happy new year, and my least favorite, last call. But you can also put in 5 of your own phrases, and you can overwrite the other 10, but you can go up to 30 characters, have 15 phrases. All right, we're gonna check out some of the phrases. I'm gonna use the handy dandy supplied remote that came with the Messenger here. Let's check it out. Congratulations. You got all the standard party slogans in this thing. So here's one that I created earlier. I'm gonna show you in a minute how to make your own, but it's pretty easy. Chuck G, how about that? I like my name in lights. So now I'm gonna show you how to put in your own text using the remote that came with it. Also, it comes with a IR sensor, so make sure you plug that in or the remote's not gonna work. The remote works a lot like a cell phone keypad when putting in text, so it's pretty cool because my teenage little sister will be able to do this rather easily since she's a texting monster. So first I'm going to hit the edit button, the little E button right there, and then it's going to say edit up there. Now I have my blank little spaces for text, so I'm going to go ahead and there's a little space button right here, space. See, I made a mistake, which is okay, it's easy to edit, there's a backspace. And then when I got it, I just hit enter, and it's gonna scroll by. Now I'm going to show you how to enter text using a standard PS2 computer keyboard. If you're wondering what PS2 is, it's just that little connector at the end. I'm going to go ahead and plug it in to the port on the back. I'm going to hit Control E to put me in edit mode, and now I just type away. And there you have it. It's as easy as that. If you weren't familiar with the advantages of American DJ LEDs, the first one is low power consumption, 55 watts, and it's similar to a 400 watt halogen lighting effect. Another one is the long life LEDs. They're rated at 100,000 hours. That's over 11 years of continuous use. Also, low heat keeps your dance floor cooler and no cool down time necessary at teardown, which is great for some of you that are working till 4 a.m. and you got to sit there and wait for your lamps to cool down. These don't need to cool down. It's 4 a.m., gig's over, tear your lights down and you're gone. You'll notice these 3 knobs on top. These, when you loosen them up, these are just so you can focus your messenger so you can have clear text on the wall. And now for my favorite part. Let's tear this thing open and see how it works. Pop the magnifying lens off right here. As you can see, there's not a whole lot to this unit. You have 192 10th watt 5mm diodes, and they're in a cluster of 8 by 24. You have a bunch of EEPROM chips, and you got a bunch of resistors, and behind that you got a transformer. There's no moving parts inside, so there's no motors to fail, nothing to get heated up. It's real basic, and this light's gonna last you forever. All right, now I'm gonna turn it on. I wanna remind you folks that here at Under the Hood, we are professionals, and we don't recommend any of you open any products and turn them on. So as you can see, you got the text scrolling, and it's backwards and upside down. And that's where our handy dandy American DJ magnifying lens comes in and makes it right side up. Thanks for checking us out. I hope we gave you a little more insight on this really cool lighting effect. If you have any other questions or would like to check out any more of our other products, go to www.americandj.com. I'm Chuck Green, and this is ADJ Under the Hood. Welcome to another episode of ADJ Under the Hood. I'm Chuck Green, and this is the ACCU UFO. The ACCU UFO is a modern spin on the classic UFO effect. We had fixtures in the past such as like the saucer and the Orbitron, which were really cool. Some of the issues you have with fixtures like that is in a disc like this, you can't get a fan on it, and now we're using LED, so we've eliminated that problem altogether. The ACCU UFO has 32 8mm diodes. It has 8 red, 8 green, 8 blue, and 8 white diodes. So you can get some really cool colors and some really cool patterns out of this unit. It has 8 and 16-bit pan and tilt, and it also uses some really high quality stepper motors. This thing is silent, there's not a fan on it. This is another really high quality addition to the ACCU family. The ACCU UFO has 540 degrees of pan and 265 degrees of tilt. Then you also have this rotation of the saucer right here. When you have multiples of these things going in a club, it looks crazy. Right here we're using the 8-bit pan and tilt, and then for your fine tuning adjustments you can use the 16-bit pan and tilt, which you're not going to really be able to see on camera, but you'll know when you're programming, trust me. If you're familiar with our ACCU series, this shares the same chassis as the ACCU Spots. It has the same menu. It has the smart sense, so it knows if it's in master slave mode. You can also do RDMX and address it from the console. You can do DMX, sound active, or master slave. So anyway, you got a 4-button menu. And then right here in the middle, we have silk screened on a nice little cheat sheet, which is really helpful when you're on a ladder and you don't want to get the manual out. You have your DMX in and out. And we got our little QC sticker. We talked about that last time. This means it's past quality control here at our place in Los Angeles. So let's go through the DMX attributes. Channel 1's pan. Channel 2 is 16-bit fine pan. Channel 3 is tilt, of course. Channel 4 is fine 16-bit tilt. Channel 5 is the speed of the pan and tilt, which is a handy feature when you're programming. Channel 6 is the lens indexing, or the rotation of the lenses here. Channel 7 is LED effects. You have the RGB effects, and you get a really cool white out of this thing. So if you miss your old Orbitron and you just want white, this is a great fixture for you. Channel 8 is the speed of the LED, the chases that the LEDs do. You can adjust the speed of them. Channel 9 is strobing. You can see it's kind of pulsing a little bit right now. And channel 10 will either reset the attributes or you can throw it into sound active mode. So again, this fixture gives you some really cool effects. It's a really unique complement if you already have moving heads. And you know, DJs a lot of times don't want to complement a moving head with a wash. They want something more disco-y. This is your fixture. So anyway, it uses the same LED technology that most of the American DJ fixtures use. It's got 50,000 hour diodes in it, so that's over 5 years. So if you got a really long party, like a 4 or 5 year long party, this is the fixture for you. This thing weighs nothing. It weighs, I don't know if I have that spec, but I'm guessing 30 pounds, which is nothing for a fixture like this. So anyway, you can run this thing all night. It's going to cover a lot of room on your dance floor, and especially if you have multiples, it's going to look killer. So, like all LED fixtures, this thing has pretty much no heat, which is good, and it pulls hardly any power, so it leaves you plenty of amperage for your power amplifiers and the rest of your sound gear. And because there's no heat, you don't have the insurance liability of burning anybody, and there's no duty cycle. So like I said earlier, you can run it for 5 years. And it's also, that makes it a little eco-friendly, and being Chuck Green, I appreciate that. So having said all that, I think it's time we take this thing apart. All right, so now that we got this thing stripped down a little bit, let's go ahead and take a look first, I guess, at the diodes. So here we've got 32 of the 8mm diodes. You got 8 red, 8 green, 8 blue, and 8 white, and they're pretty darn high output. And we've got these condenser lenses that I popped off the side here, and these really help the output and give it a nice sharp beam. Let's see if we can kick some of those on for you. Yeah, let's see. Well, you can kind of get an idea. Actually, if I just don't do that at home, by the way, spin it around like that, you can kind of see. Up here we have the motor that attaches to the belt in here that rotates the saucer in either direction. And on the inside here, even though you can't see it, there's a sensor that helps it position itself when you're using a DMX. And then if you check out this side, here's the tilt motor for the saucer, and there's the gear and the belt drive. Again, we pride ourselves on using high quality components. You see our belts here made by 3M, and we've got some other really high quality components. And by the way, all these components are available from our parts store. So if you ever need any parts for your ADJ product, you just get online and go to the parts store, or you can give us a call here in Los Angeles. All right, so down here in the base, we have the main PC board. And one thing I want to point out is that we have lifted the main PC board off of the chassis of the fixture. That way you get much better ventilation. Even though this is an LED fixture and doesn't create any heat, it's important if you're using it in a hot environment that the electronics don't get hot. This is the same chassis as a lot of the ACCU fixtures, but one thing you'll notice is there's no ballast, and that's what makes it much lighter because, again, we're using LED, we're not using a discharge fixture. So again, here's the main PC board. Here's the board for the display. You got some high temp cable. Here we have the optical sensor that senses this disc on the pan motor. And what this does is when you program, it tells the fixture in what direction it's headed. All right, here we've got our transformer. But over here, this is really cool, especially if you're one of our international customers or an international DJ traveling around the world. You can change the voltage. Right now we have it tapped to 120 volt, obviously, because we're here in the US, but you can go to 220 volt. But make sure you call in and talk to a technician before you try doing this yourself. We would hate for you to blow your fixture up. Let's put this thing back together and see it in action. Thanks for watching again. Thanks for all your emails and comments. We really appreciate them, and keep them coming. You've been watching American DJ Under the Hood. I'm Chuck Green. See you next time. Hi, I'm Chuck Green, and this is American DJ Under the Hood. Today we're going to be taking a look at the ACCU 250 hybrid. You're probably wondering why it's a hybrid. Well, it features an MSD 250, much like our other ACCU series, but it has a ring of half-watt LEDs around the outside. And it really helps you get some cool effects between the two lights. The ACCU 250 hybrid is a 12-channel DMX moving head fixture. It features Smart Sense, which means it automatically senses if it's in DMX mode or master-slave mode. Like the ACCU 252 before it, it has RDMX, which gives you the ability to remote control the DMX address on the front from a DMX console, so you can set the address from 50 feet away. The 4-button menu is really easy to navigate through. You can set the address, you can test the fixture, you can go ahead and see how many hours are on the lamp, which by the way is a 3,000 hour MSD 250. You can reset the fixture in case there's any problems. You can also reverse the pan or the tilt, so you can get some cool effects that way, and it's easier to program sometimes. As you can see here, it's your DMX in and your DMX out. Easy enough. Right out of the box, it comes with a few accessories. It comes with a 25-foot BMX cable. It comes with a safety cable. You're gonna probably need that. And it comes with 2 Omega brackets. You wonder why they're called Omegas? Shaped like the Greek Omega. And then of course, it comes with a power cable and it's standard IEC cable, which is pretty handy because if you lose it, you can go down to your electronics store, your computer store, and pick another one up. This fixture is really easy to hang, like the rest of our ACCU series moving heads. Just get a clamp. Today I got the Global Truss trigger clamp, probably my favorite clamp in the world because it helps my back, lifting these heavy lights. Basically all you do is you take this, you attach it to the Omega, you flip the fixture on its side, and the Omega just attaches with these cam locks. Don't forget to attach your safety cable. I don't know if you've ever had a gig where some drunk idiot came up and hit your moving head. The cool thing about the ACCU Spot 250 Hybrid and the other ACCU series is it has auto correction. So it goes right back to its original place, which is a pretty cool feature for a fixture in this price range. Enough of that, let's rip this thing open. Parabolic reflector right inside, so this fits right through there. The cool thing about parabolic reflectors is that you get a lot of output for a short optical train. You don't need another condensing lens or anything like that. So I'm going to put the lamp back in. It's pretty easy. It's 2 screws. Like that. Go ahead and tighten it down. You'll see 3 other screws on the back, and they're attached to these long screws right here with the springs in it. That's the lamp optimizer. What the lamp optimizer does is a lot of times you'll have a big hot spot in the middle of your spot. You go ahead and adjust these 3 screws accordingly to even the field of your beam. Right above the lamp, we have a high power or a high velocity fan to keep it cool because God knows you guys are going to be running these all night. First up on the optical train is the color wheel. The color wheel has 9 different colors. It's all dichroic glass, and make that short and sweet. Dichroic processing is a chemical treatment you do to glass to give you really rich, saturated color, and it also helps the glass withstand heat. The next stop would be the gobo wheel, which has 7 rotating, interchangeable gobos plus a spot. The cool thing is this fixture comes with 2 glass gobos already in it, and you can switch them all out for glass or custom ones if you want to have your DJ logo or the bride and groom's name in it. You can go ahead and get that done. So you get rotating gobos. They also do gobo shake, which is a cool effect. Here we use pretty high quality components. A lot of it is the really high temperature wires that are going to the motors and all the other components here. And the last stop, I don't know if you can see in here, are the LEDs for the LED ring. We're using 18 10mm half-watt diodes. The 10mm diodes are awesome because they use this big lens and it gives you a much greater output than most half-watt diodes out there. Cool thing about the 10mm half watt is it has this big lens on it, the 10mm lens that gives you a lot more output. And then on top of that, we put these magnifying lenses on the outside so you get really sharp beams of LED. The first stop on the optical train is the shutter. The shutter will give you your strobe effects. It'll also black out the light for you. It'll do some cool pulses, on off, and you can get this thing strobing pretty fast. Let's put the covers back on this and turn on the lights and show you what it can do.
Thank you.